Hey you guys, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have swatches of the Staycation collection coming from LynB Designs on May 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This whole collection will retail for $50, or you can pick up each individual for $6 each. These were sent to me for review, and I'll get right into the swatches. First up is Wahoo, and this is described as a pastel magenta neon cream. It's a very, very bright pink. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Wahoo swatches on my natural nail. So here is the first coat of Wahoo. These do start out a little bit sheer. Much of the formula is the same through the entire collection, but it goes on really smoothly and evenly. Here is the second coat of Wahoo. You can see that these dry down just a little bit semi-matte. The second coat builds it up a little bit, but I still can see some visible nail line. So this is going to take 3 coats. So I think each shade really needs 3 coats to be perfectly opaque. Here is the third coat of Wahoo. And this brings it completely and perfectly opaque. Nice and easy. I had no problems with these. They dry really quickly too, so 3 coats is not a big deal. I'll show you a look at the finished mani with top coat. This was top coated with the Be Shiny top coat from LynB Designs. So here is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. Next up is Rio, and Rio is described as a pastel pink neon cream. So I think that's very fitting. It's nice, light, bright pink. So I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Rio swatches on my natural nail. So here is one coat of Rio. Again, it goes on sheer but evenly. I'll let this dry and come back in for the second coat. Here is the second coat of Rio. Once more, these dry down kind of demi-matte. 2 coats builds it up a little bit, but I still can't see nail line. So I'll let this dry and then come back in for a third. Here is the third and final coat of Rio. This brings it perfectly opaque. Again, it's not too thick. It doesn't build up harshly on the nail, just nice and evenly. Here's a look at the completed mani, top coated with Be Shiny top coat once more. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and once more at an angle. Next up is my Amy. My Amy is described as a soft coral neon cream, so I found that this leans a little bit to the orange side. Super pretty, really bright. I will show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how my Amy swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat of Miami. Again, it goes on very evenly, just a little bit sheer. We're going to build that up with a second coat. This is the second coat of Miami. I had no problems with this formula at all. It went exactly where I put it. It didn't try to get streaky on me, and it dried fairly quickly. So here is the third coat of Miami. You can see it's almost opaque there. I can just make out a little bit of visible nail line. So this third coat is going to bring it completely opaque. Here is a look at the completed mani, topped with Be Shiny top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and once more at an angle. So next up is Cabo. Cabo is described as a pastel orange neon cream, and this is one of those macaroni and cheese colors. It is a little bit on the lighter side. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Cabo swatches on my natural nail. So here is one coat of Cabo. Again, it goes on evenly, just a little bit sheer, and it's going to build up great. This is the second coat of Cabo. And some of these are right on the edge of being opaque at 2, but I felt like it really benefited from a third coat. So here is the third coat of Cabo. Here is a look at the completed mani with top coat. This is one of those shades that's gonna instantly make you look a little bit tanner. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. Next up is Bondi. Bondi is described as a pastel yellow neon cream. This one is right on the edge of being that bright tennis ball highlighter yellow shade. So I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Bondi swatched on my natural nail. So here is one coat of Bondi. This one has a really great formula, especially for yellow. So not quite opaque in one coat, but went on pretty evenly. Here is the second coat of Bondi. So this one built up nicely, really great formula. I didn't have to fight it at all. It is just on the edge of being opaque though, so I'm gonna let it dry and then come back in for a third coat. Here is the third coat of Bondi, and this is going to bring it completely opaque. Here's a look at the completed mani with top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. So next up is Santorini. Santorini is described as a pastel green neon cream. And this is a bright neon lime green. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Santorini swatches on my natural nail. So here is one coat of Santorini. Again, it starts out a little bit sheer. I'll let that dry and then come back in for a second coat. So here is the second coat of Santorini. You can see my nail line quite a bit there. The second coat is going to build it up a little bit, but it's still going to need that third coat. Here is the third and final coat of Santorini. This is going to bring this one completely opaque. So here is a look at the finished mani with top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. Next up is Avisa. Avisa is described as a pastel blue neon cream. This is very much a bright robin's egg pastel-y blue. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Avisa swatches on my natural nail. So here is one coat. Again, sheer but even. I'm gonna let it dry and come back in for a second coat. So here is the second coat. This does build it up, but not quite to full opacity, so I'm going to let this dry once more and come back in for a third coat. Here is the third coat of Avisa, and this is going to bring it completely opaque for me, no problems. So here is a look at the completed mani with top coat. This is my swatch photo in artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. So the last of the creams is Eleuthera, and this is described as a pastel purple neon cream. This almost leans into like the pinky purple lavender shade. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Eleuthera swatches on my natural nail. So here is the first coat of Eleuthera. Again, it starts out pretty sheer but even. Here is the second coat of Eleuthera. This is going to build it up, but not quite to full opacity. And here is the third coat of Eleuthera. At 3 coats, this one is right on the edge of being opaque. I think this is one of the sheerest of the formulas. Still really gorgeous. Here is a look at the completed mani with top coat. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. Lastly, I have a topper. This is a Bora Bora, and Bora Bora is described as a clear galaxy hollow topper. So they look almost iridescent in the bottle in a clear base, but they do give off a little bit of holographic shine. I'll show you a brush shot. And I'll show you how Bora Bora swatches on my nail over Zoya Willa today. So this is just a plain black cream, and here is one coat of Bora Bora. It has a nice density, so you get a kind of smattering of glitter. I get a lot of blue flash over black. I did swatch it over the other creams as well. Here is a look at the completed mani. This one does dry down a tiny bit textured, so you may want to top it with a top coat. I didn't here. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And once more at an angle. Here's a quick look at how it looks as a macro over the other creams of the Staycation collection. And that rounds out my swatch and review. If you're interested in seeing more photos, you can check out my blog at sloppyswatches.wordpress.com. I will link LynB Designs down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.